Let's talk about a feeling that's incredibly common, but man, it can be really unsettling. It's that slow, creeping realization that the person you see in the mirror doesn't quite feel like the person you've always known.
It's such a strange, quiet moment when it hits you, isn't it? It's not always some big crisis, just a sudden awareness, a little disconnect. You're just going about your day, and then the thought lands. This feeling, this person I am right now, it feels a little unfamiliar.
So, what does this actually feel like in practice? Let's break down some of the telltale signs of this internal shift. This is a big one, you know? Maybe it's that hobby you used to sink hours into, or the kind of music that was the soundtrack to your life. And now you try it. But that spark, that old familiar joy, it just isn't there. It kind of feels like you're just going through the motions. And it's not just your interests, right? It's your inner world, too. Something that used to make you super anxious might now feel totally manageable. Or a joke that would have had you crying with laughter barely gets a smile. It's almost like you're a spectator to your own emotions, just watching them play out in a new and unexpected way. And really, at its core, it's just this fundamental change in your personal vibe. The way you carry yourself, the energy you bring into a room, even the rhythm of your own thoughts, it all just feels a little off. Like you're suddenly operating on a totally different frequency than you're used to.
So why does this happen? Well, believe it or not, this feeling isn't random. It's actually part of a process. Let's get to the heart of it and finally put a name to this experience.
We call it the quiet identity shift. And that word, quiet, is the most important part. See, this isn't some loud, dramatic identity crisis you see in the movies. It's a slow, subtle evolution happening in the background. Every new job, every relationship, every challenge, they all slowly reshape your priorities. And in doing so, they reshape you. This brings us to a really crucial fork in the road in how we think about this feeling. Because our first instinct is usually pretty negative. But is that the right way to see it? Are we actually lost, or is something else going on entirely? So here is the crucial reframe. The default story we tell ourselves is, I lost myself, which makes it sound like something is broken or gone for good. But what if we just change that view? What if this isn't about loss at all, but about growth? You haven't disappeared, you are simply evolving into the next version of yourself. Okay, but that's the logical question, right? If this is all a natural, positive part of life, why does it feel so uncomfortable, so confusing? Why all the disorientation? Well, the answer is basically hardwired into us. Our brains absolutely love consistency and predictability. They build this stable model of who we are. So when our life experiences start to shift that model, the brain can actually register it as an error, like a system alert that says something is wrong here. So even positive progress can feel like a bug in the system. Okay, so we get the what and we get the why. Now let's get practical. How do we actually navigate this feeling? What do you need right now, in this moment of change? Here are two things to focus on. First, stop trying so hard to get back to the old you. That person was built for a reality you're not in anymore. Instead, just gently and with a lot of curiosity, ask the person you are today what they need. And second, really truly embrace this idea that your identity isn't some concrete statue. It's way more like a living garden. It is meant to grow and change with the seasons of your life. And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, where we pull this all together. It's all about shifting from resisting this change to actually finally welcoming it. If you take away just one single idea from all of this, let it be this one. That unsettling feeling of being a stranger to yourself, it isn't a sign that you're lost at sea. It's the opposite. It's the sound of the engine turning on, moving you toward your next destination. It is the actual signal of your own growth. You know, this quote just sums it up perfectly. It gives us permission to just sit with the discomfort for a bit. That strange feeling isn't a warning sign telling you to turn back. It's just a landmark on the journey forward. The awkwardness is just part of the process. It's not a sign that the process is broken. And this is where I want to leave you. Because the most important question isn't, who was I? It's, who am I becoming? So get curious, be patient with yourself, and start to embrace the person that you have the potential to become next.